In previous modules, we learnt that grouping children by their level is an essential component of the teaching at the right level or TaRL approach. This process helps to ensure that children receive the appropriate support that they need to acquire foundational skills in literacy and numeracy. In this video, we will learn how children can be grouped during TaRL sessions. As we learnt earlier, simple assessments for basic reading and math help facilitators to identify each child's learning level. For instance, after conducting a one-on-one reading assessment, the children can be divided into 5 levels. These include beginner, letter, word, paragraph, and story levels. To help with managing classes that have children with many different learning levels, the facilitator can club certain levels together. For instance, children at the beginner and letter levels can make up one group. Children at the word and paragraph levels make up the second group, and the third group can comprise children at story level. However, grouping children during TaRL sessions can vary from school to school. It is also important to remember that no two contexts are the same. Additionally, based on pupil-teacher ratio and seating space, a class may be subject to homogeneous grouping or heterogeneous grouping. But what is homogeneous or heterogeneous grouping? Let's try to understand these terms. In homogeneous grouping, one facilitator is responsible for one group of learners. Let's see how this works in practice. Imagine that there are 3 facilitators who conduct TaRL sessions in a school. The first facilitator is responsible for managing all learners at the beginner and letter levels. The second facilitator is responsible for children at the word and paragraph levels. And the third facilitator is responsible for children at the story level. Now let's take a look at heterogeneous grouping. In heterogeneous classrooms, one facilitator is responsible for children at all levels. While conducting TaRL activities, the facilitator first demonstrates activities to all children. Next, children of certain learning levels are grouped together. For instance, children at the beginner and letter levels and children at word, paragraph, and story levels are grouped together respectively. These groups are further split into small groups, each comprising 5 to 6 children. This allows children to participate in level-appropriate activities. Please note that in heterogeneous classes, all children are expected to participate in level-appropriate activities under one facilitator in the same classroom. We will discuss this process in more detail in the next video on activities and classroom implementation. In both heterogeneous and homogeneous classes, it is important to ensure that each small group of children has a group leader. This group leader can be any child in the group. As a group leader, the child ensures that the small group is participating in level-appropriate activities. To ensure that all children get an opportunity to lead a group, you can change the leaders every month. Interact with these group leaders to understand how the small group is doing and take their inputs into consideration. You can also involve group leaders in the decision-making processes for the group. Through the process of grouping and participating in level-appropriate activities, children are expected to develop multiple skills, including the ability to manage group dynamics, to learn by themselves, and to present their thoughts confidently. In this video, we briefly discussed how children are grouped by their learning levels after an assessment and how facilitators can club certain levels together. Based on different contexts, children may be divided into homogeneous or heterogeneous groups. Finally, you learned that group leaders play an important role in small groups. In the next video, we will talk about how TaRL activities begin with a whole class demonstration and are later conducted in small groups and then at the individual level. You will also learn how these transitions take place.